Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Hi, welcome.
I'm Ryan and this is Jeb.
Hi, I'm Jeb.
And that means we're Geb and Ryne.
Yes.
And so if you're new here, thanks for clicking on our channel and nice to meet you. If you are new, we moved to the Philippines from the United States about 7 weeks ago.
Has it been already 7 weeks?
It's been about 7
Wow,
weeks.
that's a long time.
Yeah. So what we're doing in this video is we're gonna do 8 culture shocks that we have coming to the Philippines. So I'm American. I've never lived anywhere else but the United States.
I'm technically Filipino-American, so I'm kind of somewhat relevant to this video. It's mostly going to be like Ryan's experiences, but I'm going to be doing like some side commentaries just because I moved to the United States when I was 10 years old. I am now 28, so I've lived in the US for the last 18 years. I'm very fluent in Tagalog, but that's about it when it comes to being Filipino for me.
As we've discovered.
Yes, yes. Like, I'm learning so much more stuff about being Filipino in the Philippines. Everyone here thinks I'm too, like, Western, I guess, but I consider myself as Filipino-American, Asian-American. I'm very proud of that.
Okay, so number 1, the biggest culture shock. The driving style here.
Okay.
So, we've been here, I've visited the Philippines 5 times before we actually moved here. But I've never driven here until we moved here 7 weeks ago. And so as a passenger in the car, it's a lot different than driving. It is organized chaos. So traffic in the Philippines moves a lot slower than the US, but there's significantly more traffic, and hardly anyone follows like traffic rules from the West. So I don't know if they're not laws here or if they're just guidelines,
yeah.
but no one follows them. Like,
it's like a free-for-all.
Like, lanes are apparently optional. You can drive on the line. You just go without a turn signal. There's no stopping on a right-hand turn. You just kind of make the turn.
Yeah, it's pretty free-for-all.
On a left, you can kind of stop and then inch into traffic and stop it.
I mean, you do pretty well driving here, though.
Yeah, no, I do fine.
Yeah, you've been driving for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, no, I do fine. It's just, it's very different. So I find myself still wanting to do things that I'm used to driving in the West. Yeah. Like stopping at a stop sign or stopping on a red right-hand turn before I turn right.
Oh, by the way, when he says West, it means the US.
Right, the US.
For me though, like driving here, I hate driving in the US. So I also hate driving here. So Ryan just does all of the driving. I mean, I could drive, but like, you're scared every single time I drive here.
He's a scary driver.
Either country.
But now that I've driven here, I understand why.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But you know what? Traffic it is. We love Manila and we can't complain.
A lot less car crashes here though.
Yes, it's organized chaos.
Like significantly less car crashes. I think because the driving style, you have to pay attention more. Versus the US, you can just drive and, you know, be watching TikTok on your phone.
And they have a lot of like entrepreneurs on the road, like during traffic. Like,
so that's number 2.
What is it?
That was my second thing.
What is it?
You see some panhandlers here, but you don't see a lot of panhandlers. For the most part, instead of people panhandling, they're like entrepreneurial, like they're selling stuff that they made. So you see like people selling like bracelets and jewelry, a lot of food sales,
a lot of flowers too,
flowers,
like sampaguitas,
yeah, gum, cigarettes, all kinds of things that people are selling.
It's like a walking tire store.
Yeah, while you're in traffic, they walk through.
They walk through like the side of your cars and they knock. Well, no, they don't knock. Only if you're panhandling.
Right, but but it's rare. It's just I can't emphasize how rare panhandling is here compared to the US. In the US, you would never see someone trying to, sometimes I guess, but for the most part, you hardly ever see someone like selling some kind of food on the side of the road.
Oh, you know what I see in the US a lot, especially in Phoenix, is bottled waters.
Yeah, bottled waters.
Like they'll try to sell it for like $2.
Right. Yeah, you see that sometimes, and that's very emblematic of the Philippines. Like that's what you see here a lot.
Yeah, you see a lot of like entrepreneurs. It's very entrepreneurial.
Yeah,
like
I guess very entrepreneurial spirit here.
That could be like one of the things that could be on number 2's like side segues, like. The Philippines is very entrepreneurial.
Very entrepreneurial, yeah.
Yes.
People here tend to not complain about their problems so much as they just go find their own solution for it.
I'm so proud of Filipinos.
So I like
Good job, you guys.
Yeah, hard workers. Number 3, the prevalence of customer service staff at stores.
Oh my God, it's insane.
There are, so like I was talking to my dad on the phone about, he went to Home Depot, where he lives in Virginia, and he said that it was all self-checkout. There was nobody to help check him out, and he couldn't figure it out at the computer. It took him 20 minutes to check out when he just got a couple things for his shed.
And this is 2022.
And this is 2022, like this happened last week. And that just doesn't exist in the Philippines. It's, you have someone to check you out, you have someone that bags your groceries, there's another person who walks your groceries to the car. When you're in like Old Navy or Adidas or any of the, I pronounced it like the German,
Adidas.
it's Adidas. Ask any German. There's customer service staff all over the store, which is very helpful because you can ask.
Like a billion people.
There's just, it's a lot
like
of people.
if you go to like, I guess like Target in the United States, like, or just any retail store.
You're like searching for someone in a red shirt, and then you ask them, and they're like, "I'm just wearing red. I don't work here."
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to look for this one specific item. You know what I mean? I'm just, where are your slippers? I can't find the goddamn slippers.
And it's fairly easy in the Philippines. There's always lots of customer
there's
service.
always a ton of people like working. They're all like lined up in their aisles, and they're just like ready to help you with their beautiful smiles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I love about the Philippines. Like customer service, so good, so good.
Yeah. Number 4, there's a lot of American restaurants here.
Okay, I totally get that.
Yeah, so all the fast food chains you can think of, except there's 3 notable ones, which are 3 of my favorites that there are not in the Philippines, and that's...
Let me try to guess.
Okay.
Is it Whataburger?
That's one of them.
Chick-fil-A?
That's 2.
And then In-N-Out?
That's 3. Those are the only 3. But Shake Shacks here.
There's Shake Shack, there's McDonald's,
KFC, Wendy's, Burger King, and that's fast
they
food.
have like Pink's Hot Dog.
Yeah, Pink's Hot Dogs went there the other night. So, and then as far as like restaurants, there's Buffalo Wild Wings, Texas Roadhouse, IHOP, Denny's. There's tons.
They have a lot.
If you are wanting to travel to the Philippines and you're like, I'm not sure if I like the food, there's plenty of like American food here. But
Western food, yeah.
Try the Filipino food because it's absolutely phenomenal.
It's delicious.
That kind of leads me into my number 5.
What is it?
The cost of eating out here.
Okay.
So some restaurants, like some of the American brands, are the same price as in the US.
It is not some. It's like most of it.
Most of them.
Actually, most of them.
However, if you go to a restaurant that is not like a Western brand, it's local, either like a mom and pop local restaurant or a like local chain, it's significantly cheaper to eat out here.
No, it is. It really is.
Significantly cheaper.
Yeah, it's probably like half the price. Like, so for 2 people in the United States, we'd probably pay around $20, maybe even $25. Actually, like, let's be real, like $30 for 2 of us.
In the US?
Like, yeah, an appetizer.
Like $50 to $60.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about mom and pop.
$50 to $60.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
like, it's
right.
It's just not possible.
We're never gonna like order like one thing. It's always like 3 things with drinks and an appetizer.
Like a good example is dim sum. We go to dim sum a lot. In the US, dim sum, I mean, it's hard for us to get out of there for less than $45, $50. That's just what it costs. We've gone to dim sum here, it's like $20 to $25.
Yeah, it's actually, what is that in pesos? In the US, it would be like, did we say $50?
Yeah.
So like to $60. So in the US, it would be 2,500 pesos to go get dim sum.
Right.
In the Philippines, it would be about
between 1,000
to 1,500 pesos to go get dim sum. So that's a significant amount of like money you save in the Philippines.
And that's expensive dim sum. Like you can get cheaper dim sum than where we go.
I know, right? Yeah. But you know what, you guys? It's all because of like minimum wage and all that, but that's a different video.
I can get into that too.
Yes.
I majored in econ, so. Number 6. This is an observation. It's not so much a negative or positive, it just is what it is.
What is it?
Opening a bank account in the Philippines is significantly more difficult than doing so in the US.
So I guess not necessarily just a bank account, just like any type of like government like processy. Like it takes a long time. Like a driver's license, a bank account, like just, I guess like anything government related or like, what is it, officially like related. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I worked in the US before we moved here. I worked in banking for a long time. And it takes probably 20 to 30 minutes to open a bank account in the US. It's about a 2-hour process here. That's after you've made the appointment. You can only make the appointment after you've been approved to open the account.
Okay.
Which is a first consultation, either by phone or at the branch.
But you know what? They're all great though. Like,
they were fantastic. Customer service.
They were very accommodating.
Very professional. It was not a process I was used to.
Oh, another thing that you can add to that though, like the customer service here with like banking or like healthcare, the employees are so personable.
Very personable.
Like we love them.
And very helpful. And I feel like Filipinos more so than Americans. And I'm singling out Americans alone because I don't feel like it's necessarily like this in Europe or Canada either. They are they take a lot of pride in their work with their specific job.
Oh, totally. 150%.
And that's not to say Americans don't, but it's not as widespread as it is here.
Like, to be honest with you guys, like, they don't. Sorry. Like, Americans don't. Majority of Americans are very entitled and yada yada yada. Like, that's why it's a first world country. But guess what? Europeans are also not as entitled as Americans, but they're also first world, so blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Different video. But like, I went there. I totally went there, okay? So, but guess what? Gasoline station employees here in the Philippines have way more respect for their own jobs than we do minimum wage jobs in the United States. You have to agree. Like they truly care about like their art, like their craft, like they truly think of their jobs as like their livelihoods.
I think, so getting gas here, this was not on my list, but I'll talk about this for a second. Getting gas here is an experience, and it's kind of enjoyable because first, you don't pump your own gas here. They have gas station attendants. They seem like they're very professional, very nice. They take a lot of pride in their work, and good for them because they're outside in the heat and the humidity all day long, pumping gas next to cars that are hot because they've been running. And every time that we've gotten gas, the attendants have kind of known what kind of fuel goes in our car, you know, whether it's regular unleaded, premium, diesel, like they know. So obviously they know a little bit about cars and engines to recommend that. Then they always want to check, you know, wash the windshield or check fluids. And then on top of that, while you're pumping gas, because obviously you turn your car off and then roll down the window. And I think this is Filipinos in general, because this kind of happens in the US too. They sing a lot. Filipinos like to sing. And it's fun to hear the gas station attendants like singing. He was singing Bruno Mars the other day while we spoke about that.
I know.
Security guards too. I was like, it's so good.
Oh my gosh, and security guards, they sing all the time.
Yeah.
They're just always in such a good mood.
They're always in good mood, and Filipinos love to sing.
Like such happy people.
COVID precautions, basically.
Oh my god.
It's taken very seriously here in the Philippines. It's very different than the US. And part of that is, you know, government rules. Part of that is the fact that people here are just very serious about it. And that shows in statistics too. I mean, the Philippines is higher vaccinated than the US as a percent, even though...
Good job, Filipinos.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Philippines.
Even though it's totally different economies, people are always wearing masks. Even when they necessarily don't have to, and that's reflected in the numbers too. I mean, there's far less daily cases in the Philippines than there are in the U.S. When you convert it, I mean, the U.S. has 330 million people. The Philippines has like 110 million. So the Philippines should be a third of what the U.S. is.
No, absolutely.
And it's like the U.S. is like 25 times the Philippines what it is on a daily basis right now. This one was very personal to me. Not necessarily observation of what other people might have when they come to the Philippines, but mine was, I grew up in Arizona. I'm 30 years old, and over the 30 years of my life, I've lived in Arizona about 20 of them. So that's desert, it's hot, and it's very dry. I have very pleasantly liked the weather here, and the fauna, the plants. I'm not used to living in a place where it's very green, where there's grass. And I don't like the heat so much as I enjoy the humidity, which I never thought I'd say. But my skin has never been more comfortable.
I know, and you're breathing.
And I have, so you can probably see on camera that my face is always red. I have rosacea, and it is significantly better on my skin with the humidity.
We just have to wear a lot of sunscreen.
We have to wear a lot of sunscreen.
I mean, we did too in Arizona because the UV index in Arizona is intense, just as much as it's intense here.
Correct. But I do like the humidity.
I love it too.
Anything else to add?
I think that's it, you guys. Make sure you comment down below what you think, you know, we should talk about next. I think I'm actually starting this as a new like playlist / series where we kind of just like sit down, have coffee with you guys, and talk to you guys about like more of our experiences
Sit and
here.
chat.
Sit and chat. Ooh, that's a
Maybe
cute
that's what we'll call it.
name. No, what about like coffee and chat? Ooh, that's cute because we always have coffee.
Yeah, chat, coffee and chat. Chat,
Right?
coffee.
Chat,
Coffee,
chatting
chat.
coffee. I don't know. I'm gonna think of something super cute and trendy for you guys. If you are not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can see.
And hit the notification bell.
Yes.
Ding.
Hit the like button down below, the thumbs up, you guys. That helps out our video a lot so it can be shared to the rest of the universe. And thank you guys so much for watching our video. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.